Okay, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Milan and I am a violinist and equestrian, among many other things. And today I'm going to do a video talking about exactly how I set up my practice journal for the week so that I am well prepared and have the most efficient practice sessions possible. So I thought I'd start off by talking about my lesson days and how I set myself up for success in the rest of the week on my lesson day. So today was a lesson day for me, and what I do after every single lesson is I get in the car and I pull out my violin notebook and I scribble down exactly what we did in the lesson and what I need to work on for next lesson. So it's messy, it's not super pretty. Most of the time I can't even read my own handwriting, but the important thing is that I write down what I need to work on for the next lesson so that when I get home and I'm starting to look at my week and plan it out, I remember what we talked about and what are some important takeaways and what my goals need to be well prepared for my next lesson. So what this looks like is I had a lesson today, so I get in the car and I write down, like today we worked on my Kreutzer etude, and we kind of talked about some practice techniques of how to prepare and work on the skills I'm trying to master in this etude. We also worked on my Mozart Concerto No. 4, the cadenza for that, and kind of worked through some of the tricky spots and things I was struggling with it. And then I need to practice for my next lesson. I need to work on those two things, but I also need to work on my Bach Sarabande and Jig that I'm currently learning, so that she can listen to those and give me some feedback. So then what I do is I look at that and I say, okay, these are the things I need to have prepared for my next lesson. And then I kind of form a practice plan around that. Another thing is that at the beginning of the week, I also plan out the amount of time I'm going to practice each day. So I'm working my time back up to about 2.5 hours so that I can be well set up for the beginning of orchestra season and school and all of that. So I'm going to write down what I want to practice each day, as well as how much time I need to spend with the instrument to be successful in being prepared and strong for the beginning of the season. Okay, so it's a little bit later and I've now finished making out my plan for the week, so I thought I'd walk you through exactly what it looks like. So today was Monday and it was my lesson day. I just did 10 minutes of warm up. I had almost an hour and a half of a lesson, so I'm not going to do anything more today. So tomorrow's Tuesday, so I'm going to be doing 2 30-minute blocks, so an hour total. And then I've outlined exactly what I'm going to do in each of those blocks. So I'm going to do Kreutzer etude, scales, and Mozart cadenza in the first one, and then my Bach Jig and the first 2 of my orchestra excerpts in the evening. And I follow the same outline pretty much throughout the week. You'll see Friday's another lesson day for me. I have a little more practice Friday than I had Monday because my lesson Friday will be closer to an hour. And then you'll see that some of these days, like Wednesday, I do an hour and 15 minutes versus Thursday, I'm only doing 45. A lot of this practice time adjustment has to do with my schedule outside of violin practice throughout the week. So I have less going Wednesday as far as commitments versus Thursday, so I adjust my practice accordingly. And like you'll see, like Saturday I'm back to an hour because I have more time. Then at the bottom of the page, and usually on the next page as well, and I do this every night before the next day, so like today's Monday, so I'm doing it for Tuesday, I go through and I make notes on what I want to work on. These are a lot sloppier as far as like it's just kind of scribbled down versus this is all nicely laid out. So I write down like what I want to work on, what the focus of my practice session needs to be. And the reason why I do this the night before is a lot of times it's after a practice session of that day, and I want to reflect on the progress I've made that day and then look at what I need to improve on for, in this case, Tuesday. So when it's Tuesday and I'm thinking about Wednesday, I'm going to think back on what I worked on and what I need to improve on for Wednesday. So that's why I do this the night before. So that is a tour of my practice journal as of right now. It is summertime, so my schedule fluctuates a little bit more, so my practice times and how I set up my practice journal is a little different than when I do it in the normal season. I probably will do a video in a couple months kind of talking about how I keep track of everything in orchestra season and all of that, because I have a lot more repertoire that I'm covering, and so trying to make sure that I hit everything every day is more difficult, so I have a different layout for that. But right now in the summertime, I'm just working on building back up my practice time and staying consistent with it. So this is the way that I have found it best to organize. I hope you found this helpful in some way or just interesting. Be sure to check me out on Instagram and TikTok because I post daily on there, and I will see you guys in the next one.